Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we'll be taking a look at the track Rise Up by the Canadian rock band Sum 41. This is the second track to be released from their upcoming 8th studio album Heaven Times Hell, which will also be the band's last before they do embark on a worldwide tour before disbanding, and this is effectively going to be a double album. We did get to see Landmines, which was released from the Heaven side of the album just a couple of months ago, and that was more reflective of the pop punk stylings that we did see on albums such as All Killer No Filler, but with this Hell side they've stated that they're going to be exploring more of their more recent metal influences that we have seen on some of their previous albums or later albums such as Order in Decline from 2019. And with Landmines really incorporating those upbeat stylings that we do expect to see from pop punk, I'm really curious to see how they're going to flip the switch and really show the two sides of the band, and will it become a little bit muddled with some of the music, as this song will be the first taste of what we'll be expecting to see on the Hell side of this upcoming double album. So will this latest single rise through the ranks or simply fall at the first hurdle? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
0 knots, maintain till 4 DME, Cathay 239.
David 767, turn right, heading 185 degrees.
Right, 185 degrees, David 767.
David 767, turn right, heading 245, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, report established, runway 27 left.
Welcome everyone to 41 Airways Flight 6929 flying non-stop to Tokyo. We've got a long flight today, so just, buckle up. Try to take it minute by minute. Honestly, we've got 4 babies, six dogs, and somebody brought on a goddamn parrot. So wish us all the best of luck. And anyway, it's my birthday. Have a happy flight.
Good evening from the flight deck. This is your Captain Noodles speaking. Welcome aboard 41 Airways for our non-stop flight to Japan this evening. I'm very excited. It's my first time flying at night. Other than that, have a drink and enjoy yourself on our 89-hour and 22-minute flight to Tokyo this evening.
Okay, you can definitely see a tonal shift from Landmines. You can really see how this is being impacted by the Hell side of the album. Definitely having much darker tones really coming through. Still keeping that energy, still keeping that pace that the band are very much known for, but really just kind of showing it in a much more darker atmospheric style, really compared to Landmines, which is much more uplifting, much softer in terms of the delivery of that track. So you can really start really coming through on the drums, much thicker, much harder hitting, and then we also have the guitars as well, just kind of adding to this strong sound that really incorporates more of their more recent influences over those recent albums. And I like the idea of the video, the idea of Noodles from The Offspring getting involved. Not sure why he's piloting the plane, but I don't need to ask these questions. Just the fact that they're kind of in there playing the idea of rising up, and we can really see this is a song about kind of reaching back to someone who's tried to kind of almost bury you, someone who's tried to bring you down. You've been mistaken if you thought I was gone. So someone's kind of tried to push you underground almost, kind of tried to eliminate you, and you've risen back up to their level with the idea idea that you're going to rise back past it and then maybe not expecting it. So you could look at maybe a relationship that's very destructive, or someone that's kind of tried to kind of stand all over you to get to a higher position, and you've eventually returned to that same level. You can really see that coming through in that first verse, because I've been waiting for this moment too long just to see the worry in your eyes. So really just again meeting at that eye level again. I bet you thought that I had fallen away. So lots of references to the idea of falling, the idea of this hell, going underground, lots of ideas of buried as well. I'm very much the living. So I like the way they're incorporating a lot of these lyrical choices that really match in very well with the theme of the track that we do have coming through, but it still has that very rockish element coming through. It really has that strong melody and hook that really comes through in a lot of Sum 41's music, despite that stylistic shift that we are seeing on this side of the album. But I just like the way that they're really incorporating this idea very strongly through the first verse, through the pre-chorus and the chorus. You need to think, because I know you never thought this would be how it ends. I told you I'd rise up. So rising up to that level and kind of continuing to do so. So really like a lot of the lyrical choices the band have made just in the opening minute or so of this track.
I don't believe that you have got any soul. You're just a breed of your own kind all alone. An architect of your own decline. Nothing sacred anymore, it's the past. It's falling further, even more out of grasp. You're replaced and running out of time. No press from me. You say I'm not the one you think will. Just let it go and leave it all behind. You're dead to me, and I don't even feel guilt. Just take a look, 'cause it's time for me to rise. So when you think you've got me by a thread, you need to think again. 'Cause I know you never thought this would be how it is. I told you I'd rise up. I told you I'd rise up.
And we can really see as we move into the late stage of the track, those metal elements really coming through. We've really seen Derek go for some of these slight screams. He's not the strongest screamer there is, but certainly great to see him incorporating some of these more hellish elements into this side of the album. It's what we really want to see. But I like they're not straying too far from that typical sound. It really still has these melodic, kind of chanty elements to it, with these whoa-ohs that are being thrown in the end of certain lines in the verse. And I get, like, again, how it's kind of tying in some of these religious elements. I don't believe that you have got any soul. So again, you can really see that focus put onto somebody. And I love that line, an architect of your own decline. So you've kind of constructed your own decline. You are the reason for your own downfall. And we often see kind of a line that's typically uses an architect of your own design. So I like that kind of switch up that they have included on that particular lyric. Nothing sacred anymore. So really showing these religious elements, tying again beautifully with the idea of this album. It's falling further, even more out of grasp. You're replaced and running out of time. So almost like this idea of, you kind of dragged me down, I've risen up and I've replaced you with something else, someone that's kind of healthier for me. So it doesn't just have to be focusing on relationships, but you can kind of see that aggression towards another person or to something in your life that's kind of caused you to kind of take a fall, to kind of have to pick yourself back up off the floor.
I can never get enough. Like the sun, it's time that I rise up. So when you think you've got me by a thread, you need to think again. 'Cause I know you never thought this would be how it is. I told you I'd rise up. I told you I'd rise up. I told you I'd rise up.
Welcome to Tokyo, where the current time is, I have no idea. Thanks for flying 41 Airways.
What a really interesting track that was, really showing a strong start to the Hell side of this upcoming 8th studio album from the band, which will also be their last. And there were some really interesting elements in there. One thing I really loved was the guitar solo from Mark Baksh. It really kind of almost had this very Herman Lee Dragon Force through the Fire and the Flames styling to it. So again, Fire and the Flames, the idea of Hell, that side of the album. I like these little choices that they've made that really tie into a lot of other things and really show the thought that has been put into this side of the album. And I think it's going to be really impressive. I'm kind of glad they're splitting it up. They want to explore the two almost eras of the band, and they're doing it through a double album. So you're not kind of intertwining the two together. You're kind of splitting them apart and providing this double album. And I think that's a great choice from the band. I think it would get too muddled by trying to mash the two styles together, but great to acknowledge from the band that they actually have these two eras and being able to explore both on what will be their farewell to many of their listeners of both eras, or those people that have been with the band since day one. And I just really like more of these lyrics that we did have coming in. I liked that bridge where they kind of dip into something slightly softer for that moment of reflection. I don't want to close my eyes, I can never get enough. Like the sun, it's time that I rise up. So again, more metaphor really coming in, the idea of the sun rising every day. It constantly gets back up no matter how many times it gets knocked down with the kind of day cycle. So I like these little ideas that they're throwing in. So when you think you've got me by a thread, you need to think again. So you kind of just need to cut the wire completely and make sure you finish the job, otherwise I'm going to bounce back and I'm going to rise above you. So really, really strong in terms of the songwriting and a lot of the musical and lyrical choices the band did make. And I'm really curious to see more from both sides of this album. I was really impressed with the replayability of Landmines, and this song definitely has a really strong pull on it just from many of the elements that they have included. So it'd be great to see if they can continue this kind of style up, how strong this final album will be, certainly as a farewell. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comment section below. Do you prefer the Heaven or the Hell side so far, or which one are you more excited to get to hear in full? I would love to know your thoughts. Also, if you'd like to hear more Sum 41 content, I have covered the previous track from this upcoming album, Landmines, in a previous video, which I will link in the description of this one. And if you'd like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next Audio Analysis.